We have so much to talk about. I do these unboxing videos every single week, and every week we have so much to talk about. I'm shocked by it. By the way, I'm Jim from CGC Sports Illustrated. This is an unboxing video. I know what these issues are. I don't know what the grades are. You are getting my first reaction on these grades live on this video. I thought I broke the 9.8 button, was just freaking out 10 minutes ago. I figured I better test it out in case I got a 9.8 in this box, because I got a shot at a couple of them. Turns out it was just unplugged, so I had a mini heart attack there. That's number one. Number two, much more importantly, I had a video meeting today with the president of Slam Magazine. That's right. More details in future videos, but here's what I can say for right now. It went very well. He's awesome. A collector at heart. You can just tell. We immediately hit it off and started talking about all kinds of collectibles, from magazines to sports cards to game worn. Funko Pops got brought up, even though I don't think either of us are into Funko Pops, but I mean, great call. And some of the things that we talked about, I'll be able to talk about in future videos. It just literally happened today. So I kind of got to organize my thoughts on it a little bit, so you'll hear more about that in future videos. If you're interested in my comic and magazine cleaning and pressing service, drop a comment, find me on social media, CGC Sports Illustrated. I'm on every social platform, same username is here. Here's what's in this box. I've got a Jordan issue that is not a Sports Illustrated that should be very cool. I have a first cover of one of the most dominant one of the most dominant pitchers in modern baseball history. So we'll talk about that. I have a very cool pop culture cover, which I've had a lot of this specific pop culture genre recently, but never this specific person and this specific issue, so that's brand new. There's an issue in here that is 100% for me. It's a Sports Illustrated cover. I'm the first person to ever get it graded. None of them have been graded before. It is strictly 100% for me, but I hope you'll enjoy it. And then I have a Jordan Sports Illustrated that is very exciting because it is going to give me an opportunity, potentially an opportunity, to upgrade one of my Michael Jordan Sports Illustrateds. If you don't know, I have all 50 Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated covers graded and in newsstand. Most of them are very high grade, so it is very rare that I come across a Jordan Sports Illustrated that is in such good condition that it potentially would allow me to upgrade an existing issue. So much to do, so much to talk about, so much fun to be had. Been a minute since I've had some Jordan Sports Illustrateds in these unboxing videos. Kind of exhausted most of my stash that I had and got most of them already graded. Quick update about CGC and the hurricanes that have gone through. The last hurricane, CGC, if you don't know, is based in Sarasota, Florida. And Hurricane Milton, you know, they pretty much took a direct hit from Hurricane Milton. CGC was closed for only 2 days of business. Let's see, the hurricane was, 2 weeks ago? So they were closed on Wednesday and Thursday, and back up and operating on Friday. Literally 24 hours after the hurricane, they were operating on Friday. I have heard that things are fine. Things are good. They have a brand new, at least one brand new building. Very hurricane proof. They've got vaults that all their issues are stored in. I haven't heard any reports of any problems other than they're a little bit behind because they were closed for 2 days, and I heard from somebody, strictly rumor at this point, that they're just a little farther behind in normal than processing. If you haven't sent something to be graded at CGC, when your issues arrive at the CGC, headquarters, these days it's taking about 2 weeks before they show up in your CGC dashboard. So, because that's how long it just takes them to process everything. They've got so many coming in. So keep that in mind. I heard that, again, it's a rumor, that they're a little behind in their processing. Although I've had new stuff show up in my account on my dashboard, so don't know how true that is. All right, let's dig in. Let's see here. I got at least, I know I've got one that has a very serious, I've got two that have a very serious shot at 9.8. Two others, kind of an outside shot. So let's warm it up a little bit. Let's get it warm. Hopefully we'll be seeing it at least once. At least once. Fingers crossed, more than once. Man, I had so many updates and information to give. I'm already going to the Fat Tuesday mug. Okay. 5 modern slabs in this box. Looking for a ton of 9.8s. Would love to hit that 9.8 button. Let's start it off with a 9.8. Let's start it with a 9.8. Let's quit screwing around here. Get to it. Come on. This is one of the ones that I thought had a really good shot at 9.8. This is also the Jordan that I was hoping to upgrade. Missed on both of those. This is Jordan, Ali, and Ruth. It came out on December 28th, 1998. Projected this at 9.6. For some reason I didn't pull the pop reports on this. I'm sorry about that. Projected this at 9.6. I own it at 9.6 and was shooting for a 9.8. Man, looks real good to me. Could be another one for the crack, press, and regrade file. Underrated Jordan issue. Maybe one of the most underrated out of all of Jordan's 50 issues. This is cover number 43. This issue is really interesting because it came out at the end of the year in 1998, and it makes the articles in the inside make the case that 1998 was the greatest year in sports history. And their argument for that was, I'll go down the list here. Michigan and Nebraska sharing the national championship title. Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning his first ever Daytona 500. Elway and the Broncos winning their first ever Super Bowl. Bryce Drew, the famous buzzer beater for Valparaiso University in the NCAA tournament. Kerry Wood tying the all-time single game strikeout record with 20 strikeouts. Michael Jordan, the shot occurred in 1998. Bulls get their 6th title. They're back their second three-peat. Jordan's final shot in a Chicago Bulls uniform. The famous Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa home run chase. Yankees making an argument for the greatest single baseball season ever with 114 wins and a World Series win. Really pretty cool and one of the more interesting and valid articles. Sports Illustrated, I think, under pressure to come up with some hot takes on their articles over the years, and I think a lot of them fell short. This hot take, and they kind of went out on a limb, I think they did a really, really good job of, and they make a good argument for 1998 being the greatest year in sports history. I hate that 9.4. Okay, we're turning it around. That's it. We're just going to turn this box around, and we're going to do it right now, and it's all 9.8s from here on out. Okay, a little bit vintage. I'm going to say this is something from the 80s. What was that? Benson and Hedges cigarettes on the back there. Come on. Man, that stinks. Those were the two in this box that I projected at 9.6 that I thought had the best shot at 9.8. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. Another one for the crack, press, and regrade file. This is the issue that is strictly just for me. You know I'm a Cubs fan. This is a shot of the scoreboard at Wrigley Field. It's really the only time Wrigley Field has been solo featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated, without any Cubs players as really being the focus of it. This issue came out on July 6, 1987. First copy ever graded, projected it at 9.6, comes in at 9.4. Obviously, this is personal to me, but I've always said, I thought this had a real shot at 9.8, and I've said this before, so I'll say it again. I think any issue of Sports Illustrated, if you can get a 9.8 on it, that is a very collectible item. Don't care if it's one of the, weirdo copies of Sports Illustrated, especially like one of the ones from the 50s where it's like scuba diving and dogs, or even some of the modern issues that were just kind of goofy, where the covers aren't all that spectacular. If you can pop a 9.8, you got yourself a great piece on there. Again, personal for me, I'm going to be displaying this one in my office here, but 9.4. I'm 0 for 2. This is not good. This is not a good box so far. I need this to turn around, and I need it to turn around right now. I need it to turn around right now, or else this box is going to be, I'm going to just whip through these, I'll be done, and go to bed. Be done with all of this. Because when I have a bad box, it puts me in a bad mood. And so if I'm in a bad mood from a bad box, just go to bed, call it a day. Get up the next morning, try to do, have a day again. Oh, look at this. 80s again, it looks like, with a Polaroid instant camera on the back. I remember when my family got one of those when I was a kid. I thought we were living in the future. You mean I can have a camera, take a picture, and this little photo comes scooting out the front of it, and you wave it around and wait for it to develop, and in 2 minutes you got a photo right in your hands? Living in the future! We're idiots. Okay. Something's wrong. This is, Give me a minute. I projected this at a 9.4. I clearly crapped the bed on that projection. Now, there is a little bit of staining on the back. And that's about the only flaw I can see in the entire piece. So I'm not going to complain about the grade. I went off on a rant on this before. I hate content creators that complain about the grades. PSA 6, this is at least a 9. Grading is subjective, okay? All depends on what grade the mood the grader is in. Sucks, I get it, but I don't believe there's any way they can fix it. I don't know, maybe they can institute AI in the future and make grading more uniform. But grading is a subjective process, so if you want to complain about something that's subjective like that, it's just dumb. It's like complaining that it's raining outside. There's nothing you can do about it. But I am upset about this. Not mad at CGC, just mad at an 8.0. Because I blew that projection by a mile. Okay, that's a little bit of saving grace. It does say first George Lucas Time cover, so that's good. This is George Lucas and his first appearance on the cover of Time magazine. Came out on May 23rd, 1983. There are no pops for this. This is the first one. I'm sorry. The CGC census for Time is still broken, so I don't know what the pops are. This issue came out 2 days before Return of the Jedi was released in theaters. And I really hate what Star Wars has become. As somebody who just, was a kid when these movies came out, Star Wars was like the greatest thing in the world for me. And to see what Disney has done to the Star Wars franchise is, it's a shame. I mean, so I'm living in the past off of the old stuff, but let's be honest. The 3 prequels that Lucas directed that came out in the late 90s, they were not good. They just flat out were not good. We might have thought they were good when they came out, but that was just us trying to relive nostalgia and be happy that we had new Star Wars movies. Look back at them now. They are terrible. They're terrible, the prequels. The Mandalorian is pretty good. Pretty much everything else that they've been releasing as far as TV shows are god-awful. Solo was bad. I'll say this. How about this for a hot take? Rogue One, best Star Wars movie in over 30 years. Rogue One was a gem, and that's a spectacular movie. But everything else is just average at best, and it's so disappointing. Almost as disappointing as this 8.0 disaster. I may end up cracking all of these, cleaning, pressing, and resubmitting them, because these are not what I was expecting by a long shot. But I'm positive. You know me, I'm positive, and we're going to turn it around. We're turning around starting right here. Yeah, okay. We did turn it around. I projected this at 9.2. So I can't be that mad at it. Newsweek, Michael Jordan. This was October, November 1993. So this is kind of an interesting issue. They're calling him the greatest ever. So this came out in early October, like the first week of October or even end of September. 1993. And this was an interesting issue. Bulls had just three-peated, calling Michael Jordan the greatest ever. They did a look back on his career, and they did a look forward. Of course, what Newsweek didn't know was that in October of that year, Michael Jordan retired. So just kind of an interesting timing because Jordan wasn't on a lot of Newsweek covers. I think he was on 3. This is his second cover. His first cover was the Dream Team cover that was Jordan, Bird, and Magic that came out in 1992. So Jordan wasn't on a lot of Newsweek covers, and they're like, yep, 93 after the three-peat, let's put him on the cover, let's talk about preview of the 93-94 season, which, of course, Jordan never played in. It has been a while since I've had Jordan issues in my unboxing videos, which means it's been a while since we've done some Michael Jordan highlights. I found this highlight reel. I like this one a lot because some of these you don't see all the time. So let's roll it. Michael Jordan highlights.
I want you to say...
Found that highlight reel. I mean, you're talking to a guy who has seen every Michael Jordan highlight reel that exists. And that's obviously an exaggeration, but I watch them all the time. You should see like my YouTube history is like, I'll watch a couple of my videos just to make sure they're technically correct. And I'll see a couple other things. And then it's just Jordan highlight. Game 6 of the 98 NBA Finals, Game 4 of the 91 NBA Finals, Jordan highlight, Jordan documentary, Last Dance. It's just all Jordan stuff. I really liked that highlight reel and thought it was fun. 9.2, let's go. I guess I projected it at 9.2. I crapped the bed on the previous 3 projections, so I guess I'm happy with that. I got one left. If this one is way off again like the others, we're just gonna be shutting this video. It's gonna be like an Irish goodbye. Not even gonna say anything. Just gonna hit the button, turn it off, and we'll go to bed and see you guys again next week. Let's do it. And there's a lot. Well, we'll take a look at it. There could be a lot that I might be angry about on this issue, but let's take a look at it. Okay. 9.4. I projected it at 9.4. And I'm angry because they didn't do the variant breakout. That's where the variant goes. There's nothing there. It does say first Greg Maddux cover. I've gotten this graded a number of times. Always requested the variant breakout, CGC. Man, they are stubborn. Once they decide to not break out a variant, nothing changed. Very rarely do I see them change their mind and end up breaking it out later. This was a 1 of 2 variant. Greg Maddux, first Sports Illustrated cover, August 14th, 1995. There are 2 at 9.8. There are 3 at 9.6. There are now 6 at 9.4. Projected this at 9.4. There is a brand new documentary that's out on Greg Maddux. I know it's available on MLB.com. I think you can watch it on YouTube. I think I watched it on YouTube. Just came out in the last month. Really, really good. That 1995 Braves, pitching staff is probably the greatest pitching staff in Major League Baseball history. Greg Maddux in his prime, Tom Glavine in his prime, John Smoltz in his prime, Steve Avery as well, just absolute dominant. And I'm a Cubs guy. And that's where Maddux started. We drafted Maddux. He played for the Cubs when he was, early in his career, and then like an idiot, we didn't sign him. Very interesting thing about Greg Maddux. So he was good with the Cubs, But he had all his success and his playoff wins and his Cy Youngs and his World Series were all with Atlanta. When he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014, on their plaque, they get to decide which team they want to represent. And sometimes it's tough for players if they played with multiple teams. Greg Maddux's plaque in the Hall of Fame has no team designation. That's how much he loved his time in Chicago. He loved his time in Atlanta, had all his major success in Atlanta, but when it came to time to go into the Hall of Fame and decide which team he wanted on his plaque, he chose to leave that blank. So if you go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, you got the bronze plaque, Greg Maddux' face there, and then there's a banner underneath it, and it is absolutely blank. He just couldn't pick one. So I thought that was a really cool story. Bummer of an unboxing video. I guess I've been in a good run lately. It's been a while since I've called a box a bust, probably several months. So not going to get too upset about it. New unboxing videos every Monday. Pressing unboxing videos every Thursday. Always love your feedback. If you got ideas, something you want me to cover, information you need, something you want me to do in any of these videos, please let me know. Shoot me a DM on social media or drop a comment. As always, I do really appreciate you watching these things. They're a ton of fun for me, and I love it when other people enjoy it too. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it.